Deb and I have been talking about decluttering.
Yay!
Woohoo! It's not something that we look forward to, but like when you're going through it, or especially afterwards, it's just very freeing. Like you feel like you can breathe deeper, even if it's just a little area. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to tackle your whole house. I mean, for most of us, hello, that'd be so overwhelming. But a drawer, a closet, a room, just taking some time and just going through that and getting rid of the things that you're not using or that are need to go to Salvation Army or to the trash, or so much of the time we have things that really somebody else could be getting use out of that we possibly are just holding on to just because. And I know that that makes it easier for Steve and I when we're going through things to know that somebody else is going to be able to use it. We donate a lot to our thrift shop, and again, then they can sell it for a fraction of whatever to raise money for different organizations that they give to. And the person purchasing it has a use for it, has a need, and that just feels good.
Yeah, we keep saying that too. I mean, if it's in a box or in a drawer or in a, it's never used, it doesn't make any sense to hang on to it, but we do. I mean, sometimes we form attachments to things. So, but yeah, it feels so good to just free up space. And there's a lot of research that says it's amazing, yeah, what our clutter does to our mental health, to our, like we clear out a space and all of a sudden, people have said, I wrote a book because we clear up mental space or they actually, money started coming in because there was room for it, which sounds funny sometimes, but there's a lot of research that supports it. And anyway, but I was thinking about even a little bit at a time. Then again, maybe some people have an easier time overhauling. I don't think I'd want to do my house in a weekend. But when you're moving, all of a sudden you create a lot of time to
Yeah.
get it done because you've got, a couple weeks. Um, and one of our friends rented a dumpster and they got the family together and they literally they did their whole house in a weekend.
Yeah.
And then they had a place to put it too, because I think that's what happens. Well, what do we do with this now? Because, it won't be picked up and nobody wants it. It's broken. And so they got a dumpster. And they just chucked stuff in the whole weekend. They filled a whole dumpster full of stuff from their house
Yeah.
and they were done. And it felt really good because it was hard to get them all together to do that. And the mom said, finally, I'm just like, this weekend we're doing it and everybody's got to be here and we're doing it. So,
Yeah. Huh. Because now they make, I think Home Depot actually makes um, like collapsible um, bags like that are almost, they have a name for it, but I almost feel like they're dumpster bags. So like if you
oh,
can't rent a dumpster, like you can get these bags that I forget what they're called, but anyway, they're pretty sizable that you could just. That's a pretty good idea, Deb. I have to say, because that's what does make it difficult for most of us too, is that if you can't get everybody there at one time, then you're like, all right, well, those of us that are here, that doesn't mean anything to us. But what about the person who's not here? Then we have to set
hmm
it aside for that person. I like that idea because we have found too that, with those of us that are in the sandwich generation, that all of a sudden, you have to go through a parent's home. And if they've been somebody who has collected and, you know, saved for years and years and years, it's really overwhelming. I mean, it's
Yeah, it is.
especially if they're like us and they've never moved. And that was my in-laws. Like they had been in that same house since Steve was 4. So there was a lot there.
hmm Yeah. Well, and I think I don't remember if I've told our community this story, but um, I was sitting in our dining room writing one day, and all of a sudden I heard a big crash, and it sounded like the ceiling fell in, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And Courtney was upstairs and said it wasn't up here, but I heard it. And I looked all over the house and couldn't find it. And then Scott came home and went to hang his shirt up and he went, "Oh, what happened in our closet?" Well, our shelves had both come down our rods and the one took the other one down. So we got it fixed by our good friend Dan, thankfully, pretty fast. And, but I went through other closets to make sure that that wasn't happening in other closets where it's ready to give way. And sure enough, in Heather's, she had the same thing that was starting to happen. So I took all of her old prom dresses off and an old wedding gown from her first wedding that she didn't want. And she put that on Facebook Market, I think. But all of our prom gowns we donated to the high school because they have a closet there.
Yep.
And I was with one of my friends the other day, and she said, "Oh, it's so great because my daughter got a dress from the high school closet." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, probably one of our dresses." It felt so good
Yes.
to know that somebody used it. And, when you're paying, sometimes you pay a lot for those one-time occasions when you know you're not going to wear them again. And it's nice to be able to have something like that. So you can just borrow it and take it back and somebody else can use it. And it's new.
Yeah.
Those dresses were
Those
worn once
dresses.
and they were gorgeous dresses.
Yep.
And there were gowns. And she said it's hard to find gowns anymore for young girls. So her daughter was thrilled. And I thought, yeah, that's true because now our closet's got a lot more space and not going to come falling down on us. But
Because they're heavy too. Those
they're
gowns
very
really
heavy.
heavy. Yeah.
Yes,
And
they're
as you
very
say,
heavy.
sometimes we get those and we think, oh, well, we could wear it again for this, or we could cut it off. None of us ever do. I guess some
No.
people do. We never have. It's like you said, you wear it for the one occasion and then it hangs in the closet. And yeah, so how wonderful for other people to be getting use out of it. And that's so true for so much of what we have when we declutter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was in a closet. I don't ever go in that closet. I forgot about it. And of course we asked Heather first because I didn't know if there was any emotional attachment. And she's like, no,
Yep.
get rid of all of them. I don't want them. Um, I'll never wear them again. So yeah. And it was high school. Our girls are in their 30s now. They're not going to wear their prom dresses. So, but another young lady loved it, wore it, loved it, had a good night in it. So
Yeah.
it's fun to do those things and know that somebody else got enjoyment out of something. And we're happier too because yay, we cleared out the closet space.
It just feels so good. It's just,
Hmm.
there's something about decluttering that is just really freeing for on so many levels. So
Yeah. And that was a 5-minute thing.
yeah.
So yeah.
All right, friends, let us know. Maybe you're decluttering this weekend. And I was sharing that we did that a couple weeks ago, but I can't even tell you what we did because it's a little embarrassing. But just know that we decluttered.
Okay. Well, good. Yay.
All right, everybody, have a fabulous weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.